What's up, roadies? My name is Larry Milburn, and this is Roadie Free Radio, your VIP pass to meet and greet the stars behind the scenes of the music and film business. All right, what is happening, roadies? Welcome back for episode 138. Yes, indeed. This is your host, Larry Milburn. I am coming at you from a barn in Northwest Connecticut. How are you, my dirty little road warriors? How you guys doing? It's been a hot minute, hasn't it? Since last week. Thank you so much for tuning in for episode 137 with Michael Thomas Regina, front of house and tour manager for the band Sales. Super cool to have him on. And it was nice to hear from so many of you to let me know it was good to have me back and be doing an interview. As you could probably tell, this is not going to be another interview show, but it's going to be a good episode. It is going to be a grand old episode. I've got some gems today that I need to share with you. So let's get into it. Let's chat about a few things. All right. So first up, I want to say this too, because you may have noticed I haven't mentioned any sponsors in the last couple of episodes, and there's a reason for that, and that reason is this. I still have my sponsors, and I love them, and they love me, and that's all groovy, but I have not felt like the last couple of episodes have been up to the A game that this show deserves, and so therefore I'm not gonna give a shout out to the sponsors, attach them to something that I think is less than what they deserve. So, as soon as I get things back on track, which you're going to find out real soon is coming, then I'll be doing my sponsor shout outs again. But you know them, Show Pro Beard Co., Stagehands Clothing out of Chicago, and Air Turn, and soon, I got a good one for you coming up. We got a new sponsor. I'm not going to announce it right now. I got to get the paperwork settled up, finalized, and our deal straight. And then, folks, we're going to be hanging a new banner here at the barn in Northwest Connecticut. So also, I am trying something a little different. If it sounds a little different, if I sound a little different, it's because instead of sitting in my chair talking into my RE20, I always forget the RE20, my Electro Voice RE20. I'm actually pacing. I'm walking around, comedian style. I'm talking into my Telefunken mic, my M80 dynamic mic. I like it. You know I like it. I've talked about it. They were nice enough to send me some mics a while back, as you know. So I thought I would try something a little different today. Walking around, giving the body some energy so I could get this out to you. So this is a little bit of a different show, okay? They say, the content creator gods say, you know, if you really want to connect with your audience, you got to be authentic, you got to be unique, you got to be original, you got to share some personal stuff. So today, your boy Uncle Millie here is going to share some personal stuff with you. That in the last 7 days since I recorded last week's episode, depending on when you're listening to this, right? Some crazy shit happened. So I'm going to start breaking it down for you. So last Sunday, I recorded the episode. I woke up in the morning. I think I talked about this. I woke up in the morning. I mowed the lawn. Had the Magpie Salute blasting in my headphones. Listened to a little Rich Robinson. Flux album, great album, by the way. If you haven't heard it, check that out. And I just had, I was having my thoughts. I was like, man, you really gotta detune, you gotta de-stress, you gotta reimagine how you're gonna navigate all the stuff you got going on. Because as you guys know, as I've told you, I took a desk job, 30 hours a week on top of all my video clients, on top of my dad duties and my husband duties and family duties and just life. And it's been a juggle, man. It has been a serious juggle to try to keep things afloat and keep things going. But I was psyched. I had some systems. But that previous week to recording last week's episode, we're getting, it's like time travel, what I'm trying to explain to you right now. But anyway, I was super stressed, super duper stressed. Couldn't get out of my own way, internalized a bunch of stuff. As you also know, I'm headed for toe surgery. Got to get this bone spur chipped off my toe. And that's going to set me back physically for a while, but I'm okay with it. I got to go do it. So, but the pain in both my feet is bad. So I've been self-medicating. All right. I've been having a couple of beers at the end of the day, soaking my feet in ice tubs, smoking a little wacky tobacco to just turn the volume down a little bit on the pain and the stress. Then I wake up in the morning and I have a bunch of coffee and I go do my day, and Bob's your uncle. It's good times. But super, super stressed. All right, so I mow the lawn. I'm like, Dad, Larry, you got to figure it out. You got to get back with what's in touch. You can't let the show get away from you. You got to keep doing the show. You got to find a way to balance. Then I do the show. I feel good. Great. Then we have friends over for dinner. We have a nice, lovely couple over for dinner. They have a daughter. I make dinner. I have a beer with dinner. Kids want to go outside and jump on the trampoline. We bring them outside. Then they want to go downstairs and watch Charlotte's Web. Bring them downstairs to watch Charlotte's Web, get them all set up. I come upstairs, I come outside, and I stand next to my buddy next to the trampoline. And all of a sudden, I'm like, I don't feel quite right. Something's not quite right. I go back in the house, and I realize that I am in the midst of an episode of atrial fibrillation. Now, I don't know if I've talked about this already on the show. I probably have not, but I suffer from AFib, it's called. I don't get them that often. Sometimes I can go 10 years without getting an episode. Sometimes I can go a year and a half. Sometimes I can get 2 episodes in a year and a half. And basically, if you don't know what AFib is, it's like an arrhythmia of the heart. Shit starts flipping and flopping in all different directions, and your heart rate increases, and it just feels like there's a frog in the middle of your chest doing backflips. That's the best way to describe the physical feeling, but it manifests itself in that you are, you can get super lightheaded, you can pass out, and it can be very disorienting, and it's just kind of fucked up, basically, is what it is. I haven't had an episode in 5 years. The summer I got married, I had 2. Haven't had an episode in 5 years. Been seeing a cardiologist. Haven't seen him in a year and a half. But his whole thing is no alcohol, no marijuana, no caffeine, no coffee, no sugar, no chocolate. Those are all the triggers for AFib. And I was doing all of them. So here I am standing in my house. I'm sweating now. I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my God. Haven't had an episode in 5 years. All I did was make dinner, try to relax with some friends. And I'm in an AFib episode. And now I got to go to the emergency room because that's how I got to get out of this thing. I can take these pills at home, but if they don't reverse my heart rate back into sinus rhythm, then I got to go to the hospital. And that's basically what happened. I go to the hospital, go to the ER. My friends have to drive us because my wife's got to stay here with the kid. And my friend's driving to the ER. I hop in there. And basically 5 hours later, I convert back on my own. I'm like minutes away. They're going to give me this drip called albuterol, not albuterol, something, I don't know, something close to that. They wanted to do the electroconversion. I'm a big wimp about that. I don't want them to hit me with the paddles. So I chose this drip, and then the drip can have an adverse effect, and you can go into VFib, and that's real bad, and they'd have to hit you with the paddles anyway. So long story short, I'm in the hospital. I convert back, come home at 1 o'clock in the morning, and take Monday off from work and just try to rest. Because basically it's like however long you're in AFib, that's like running a full sprint. So for me, it was about 5 hours flat out running. My rate was going up about 187, then it would drop to 125. It's all over the place. It's not fun. So I take the day off and I start reading a book by John Joseph, lead singer for the Cro-Mags, author of the book Meat is for Pussies. Great dude, punk rocker, legit New York City man, who's going to be on the show, by the way. We're actually just trying to find the right time to do it. Anyway, I start reading his recent book, The PMA Effect, How a Positive Mental Attitude Can Make You the Badass You Were Born to Be. So I'm reading that on Monday. And I know a lot of this stuff. I've been trying to get back to yoga and take care of myself and, And I go back to work. I go see the cardiologist on Tuesday. after work down in New Haven. Guy's a arrhythmia specialist. And he gives me the whole lecture. And I said, look, I brought this on myself. I absolutely brought this on myself. I don't blame anybody else. I internalized the stress, self-medicated, all the triggers I'm not supposed to do, I did them. All right, so I come out of the week, midweek, feeling good, feeling like, all right, it's been a week now, haven't had any coffee, alcohol, nothing. And Friday comes, working, and I've got a recording session, actually with a past guest. If you guys don't know, Paul Marcarelli, who's the Sprint guy on TV, the old Verizon Can You Hear Me Now guy. He was on the show. I record his voiceover spots for those Sprint radio ads. So I had him coming in at 2:30. At 1:45, I pack up my desk, and I'm getting ready to hit the road. And my boss at this job calls me into the office. Hey, Kate, you got a second? Sure. I pop on in. I sit down. Now, remember, it's been a long week, people. It's been a long couple of weeks. And basically, she decides to let me go. So I get fired right there. 5 minutes before I got to leave and do a voiceover for Sprint, I get fired. I get shit canned, the boot, the pink slip, whatever you want to call it, called to the carpet and dismissed. And I could go into the why. Basically, it was an administrative job. And there were a couple programs, QuickBooks being one of them. I'm not a QuickBooks guy. I didn't hide the fact that I didn't know QuickBooks and this other software platform that they needed me to know. But we thought we could make it work. And after 3 months and just shy of when I would actually kick in to be a full salaried position at 30 hours a week and get my health benefits, they decided, you know what, dude, you're awesome. We love having your energy here. We love the vibe that you bring. Your communication skills are amazing, all that good stuff. But we need you to be able to dig in on these programs and get us the numbers. And the truth of it is, I don't know this program. I've been trying 3 months every day. I show up, do my best to learn these things. But A, they're kind of a mess. And B, it's just not my thing. It's not my thing. And I sat there and I was like, holy shit, man. I just gave 3 months to this place. And just like that, I'm getting canned, and holy shit, I got to get to my studio to get things up and running for Sprint. And I felt terrible. I felt absolutely terrible, but I was keeping it together because that's what you got to do. I took responsibility for the things that I felt I needed to take responsibility for, and I also made it clear that, hey, you hired me knowing these things that I didn't hide from you about where my skill set was. So, for whatever that's worth. Anyway, the whole last week I've been reading John Joseph's book. And when I came home, I had this immediate feeling of like two things. It was like, I said to my wife, it's like, how weird is it that I picked up a book about a positive mental attitude in the middle of a week where I have to go to the hospital because of a heart thing that's a wake-up call, and then I get fired at the end of the week. How weird is it that I pick up this book that's reminding me and pushing me to have a more positive mental attitude and think about how I want to direct and live my life. In the short term, this sucks. I'm not going to lie. This sucks getting fired. Nobody likes getting fired. I'm okay with the fact that it didn't work. I know that's not my skill set to sit at a desk all day and enter numbers and do that. And no, that's not me. I'm a creative person. I need to be up. I need to be interfacing with people. I need to be making shit and doing fun shit. I need to be doing this show. I need to be making videos for bands. I need to be making videos about things that I care about. And so that's what I'm going to do. So in the short term, it sucks. I'm broke. My car is barely holding it together right now. I got a leak in a coolant hose. That needs to be fixed. It's the end of the month, so all the money's gone. But there's money coming in from jobs, for my video jobs. So I'm going to be okay in the short context of, the hospital and all that kind of stuff. It sucks. But big picture, my friends, it's going to be okay. And I share this with all of you because we all go through this stuff. All of you at some point, I hope you are going to get fired or you're going to have some setbacks. And we talk about that with guests on the show and how they deal with it. And I bring that stuff up with guests a lot because I'm curious how people deal with adversity. But I also know that some of the people on the show that have been, that are further along in their careers, I know it's important for them to share their setbacks and their trials so that we can all learn how to better cope with things as we go along, right? Whether it's a dry spell in work and you just have to keep your head down and keep focused for that next job to come, or you're riding high and you get fired. And maybe in situations like that, you learn more about yourself and more about what your skills are and what you can do and what you're better suited for. So, John Joseph, The PMA Effect. I'm not even done with the book. I got more than halfway to go. But there's a reason why this book came to me this week, and I'm getting through it. So that's it, guys. That's what I got, and it's okay. It's going to be okay. This is going to afford me to get back on track. I am so psyched to have, part of my life back where I can get back into this barn. I would go 3 or 4 days and never come into the barn here. I got cobwebs on my monitors, right? I got dead bugs on my amplifiers. No, that's no good. Haven't reached out to potential guests in a while because I just know it's going to be tough to schedule them. It's not good. It's not good. So we're going to turn that around. We're going to get some guests back on the show. We're going to get this show going, and we're going to get a lot of other cool stuff happening. So you hang in there with me, and we're going to do this together. So in the meantime, you guys, push up those faders. Get it up into the red just a little bit of red. Push those limiters. All right, push those cases. And what else are you going to do? This is what we love to do, and this is how we get through. So thank you guys so much for all of your support. Stay tuned. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up this summer we're going to get back into the swing of. Go out and pick yourself up a copy of John Joseph's The PMA Effect. It's got a super cool logo, a fist and a lightning bolt, inspired by Bad Brains. Thank you guys for tuning in and for being there. And I hope, I hope you found some little bit of inspiration in this tale, because I just wanted to share it with you. You guys deserve to know what's going on and be part of this journey with me, as I've been part of the journey with all of you. So, until next week, y'all be safe out there. No roadies, no rock and roll.